President Trump posted a message on his social media site that really stood out. Now, we know that the president speaks in a way that we've never heard any president ever speak before. We know what he promised Nigeria on Christmas. And he has posted something on Easter Sunday that's extremely worth taking notice of. This whole conflict is concerning, and we're going to talk about a family, a lady and her mother that are closely associated with Iran. Let's get into it. Really crazy situation. We know what's going on between the United States and Iran over there in the Middle East, right? We understand what is going on. Although the president has, stated that talks and negotiations are going on, that Iran is begging for a ceasefire, all this other stuff. We know that immediately, it seems, after those type of reports come out, the war still continues, right? I mean, it's gotten to the point where the U.S. has been using B-52 bombers over there. So we know what's going on over there. And Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State here in the United States, posted on X that there's 2 Iranian women related to deceased Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani that were living it up here in the United States. And one of those women posts online support of the Iranian government and life over there, the way that, the social system is structured. Now, we know that there are reports that Iranian women are oppressed over there, that they have to dress a certain way. And when you observe this lady that was detained by ICE, Greencard taken by Marco Rubio, she's not living that way. She's not covered up. Listen, people can live the way they want, but you do have to recognize kind of when people advocate, it seems, for things that they themselves aren't willing to live by. And before I read Secretary of State Marco Rubio's X post, let me say this. Not as severe, but similarly, you'll have people here in the United States advocating for things that they themselves would not put up with if it were in their atmosphere, if it was right next to them, if certain situations were in their neighborhood. For example, one of my pet peeves, sanctuary cities. There are people that advocate for sanctuary cities. It's fine. It's great. But if you put a sanctuary city block within their neighborhood, on their block, they wouldn't want it. They'd be advocating against it. Just a small example. You have people advocating for things that they themselves wouldn't want to put up with, live by, or experience. So, until recently, according to this X post by Secretary Marco Rubio, until recently, Hamida Soleimani Afshar and her daughter were green card holders living lavishly in the United States. Afshar is the niece of deceased Iranian Major General Qasem Soleimani. She is also an outspoken supporter of the Iranian regime, who celebrated attacks on Americans and referred to our country as the Great Satan. This week, I terminated both Afshar and her daughter's legal status, and they are now in ICE custody pending removal from the United States. The Trump administration will not allow our country to become a home for foreign nationals who support anti-American terrorist regimes. I read the post verbatim just now, and, I'm not sure when this conflict over there will end. It is not a good thing. very concerning, very concerning. And sometimes the way that the president then speaks, it is extremely assertive. You know, the president talked about sending Iran into the Stone Age, my goodness. And the Iranian people, their leader, one of their, dignitaries, wrote an open letter to the United States people, us, right? And there's so much news out there. It's just all kinds of stuff being uploaded online. And we've got to be really careful about our politicians, upcoming elections, who can handle being the president of the United States. It's a big deal. And I don't really see anyone speaking policy, right? The Republican Party is kind of having some sort of infighting, and the Democrats have been absorbed with these leftist groups of people that go beyond progressiveness. It's all over the place. There's a big reset going on. But Marco Rubio has done what he believes is the best thing to do. And it is interesting that if all of this is true, if this lady is living here in the United States, unlike in Iran, it's interesting, the attachment and wanting to promote the lifestyle in Iran, right? And I think a lot of people that come to the United States have these mixed emotions, right? They still have an alliance and allegiance to the countries that they've come from. That's why so many of them like to wave the flag of their nation. And when you hear some of these people that are from foreign nations talk about leaders or presidents of their country, they will refer to them as their leader. For example, if someone's talking about a Middle Eastern country or an African country, they will say, our president, my leader. They're acknowledging that that person is still their leader in their minds, even though that individual might be a citizen here in the United States. And you really don't hear, I've not heard, maybe you have heard, maybe some immigrant from England, right? Living here in the United States, they're talking about leadership in Europe or England, and they're not referring to whatever that leader is, maybe in the UK, as their leader still. So there's some interesting attachments going on that do not quite align, in my opinion. What are your thoughts, social nerds?